Welcome to Objections with Stan Willis. We are all Stan Willis today. I'm Michael Morris. Next to me on my left, Stan Willis. Next to him on his left, my far left,
I am
Johnny
Stan
Cash.
Willis.
John E. Cash. John Meanick.
Have you copyrighted that yet? Have you gotten rights to that? Should I get paid royalties every time
somebody
someone
was upset because they said Johnny Cash was on your show? Apparently he died 20 years ago.
Yeah, that happens.
I think you should change your name.
I think it's a terrible idea.
With a K for money. Stan, I want to talk because you said last show you're the media guy. Is that fair?
This is not starting well.
It really took a left turn.
Folks, this is going downhill from here, I guarantee.
This is like if you watch the Titanic when it already hit the iceberg. So,
my God.
I wanted to talk about this with all the changes in media, and it's not local media so much, even though that's happening too.
All the changes in media. Well, because I am a media expert.
Well, that's what you said, and we've talked about this quite often.
Right,
and Jonathan has a television.
I went to media expert school.
Is that next to law school? Because that's where I went.
No. Media expert school is
much more demanding.
Watching Looney Tunes on Channel 3 on a black and white TV. That was media expert school.
Well, let's talk about something that's Looney Tunes. Let's start off with the changes at CNN. I think we all watch it when we are in an airport bathroom, and that's the only thing that's on. What is your opinion on what you see so far, Stanley, about where network news is going?
Well, first of all, CNN's ratings have been, I mean,
they're slightly higher than ours.
Just barely.
It is, but it's like a
ours is pre-recorded.
It's like a downward slide. I mean, it's just.
Are you talking about our show or are you talking about CNN?
Exactly.
Because both, yes. I was going to say, you're right on both.
But no, it's like a downward slide. It's like it's like Trump loses the election. They got nothing else to talk about. It goes down through because that's what they built their whole format around for 4 years was basically hating Donald Trump. And
it's like the anti-ESPN where all they talk about was Jordan, and then Jordan retired, and they go, so we have soccer now.
Right. You remember the old Saturday Night Live skit where they were doing the news, and it was General Alicio Francisco Franco is still dead.
Yes.
Doctors report no change after 6 months. I mean, that's essentially.
Like, fuck, now we got to talk about this Hunter Biden laptop.
So, yeah, I mean, you watch CNN, it's like Trump's not president, but he's a dick.
Right.
Okay.
So I want to start this piece by saying now they're all pinning this on a guy named John Malone, who's the CEO or CFO of.
I mean, all the sexual harassment stuff that's going on?
No, that stuff's still going on.
Oh, okay. That's all okay.
CNN is a frat house of ugly people. That's why I can't understand, like, who you rubbing on over there? Well, right. If it was Fox News, I would understand it. Everybody looks like a Barbie doll over there.
What's going to be interesting is where Brian Seltzer takes his underwear-wearing personality over to next. I mean, what's he going to do? Is he going to MSNBC?
He called Nate. He's going to do a podcast here in Grove City.
Perfect. Fox is going to pick him up, and all of a sudden he'll be a staunch conservative.
Yeah. Here's the uber stupid thing. You're the media consultant guy. You're the guy that reports on media. You didn't know you were getting fired? Like how did you? I knew that a year ago.
Oh, yeah.
Does it make you...
It surprised everyone.
I just love how I read the thing afterwards, and it was so sad because he thought that people were going to, wish him well on his way out, and there'd be cake and all that, and literally no one's around. Just walk your happy ass on out of here. But does it make you, the changes in media make you want to watch it now?
No.
Like, I think you've burnt your bridge. I mean, Jonathan, I know. Dude. You're watching Rachel Maddow because you tape it.
Well, there's that. But do you remember that scene in
you think she's
The Dark Knight? Yeah, exactly. It's that Karen fade that she's got going on.
Every time I look at her, I think that girl would be great at second base. Go on.
So that scene in The Dark Knight where the Joker sets that pile of cash on fire, CNN's already done that.
Yeah.
It's gone. It is a burning, it's just embers at this point. And like you said, nobody wants to watch that shit. The fire happened. It was over, and let's move on.
I think CNN's only hope right now is that we get into another war because people watch the news when we're in
I'm always
that's true. Yeah.
I like that. Somebody told me the other day, because I was just having a conversation. I said gas prices are going back up. They're $3.70, and they said, "Yeah, but we're at war." And I was like, "Who's at war? We're giving away money.
Yeah.
Like we're a
We're
game
funding
show.
it.
Like we're not going on the boat with you, but we'll give it away if you spin this wheel."
Yes, we are helping with the money laundering by sending billions of dollars.
It's not money laundering when they can only find 30% of it.
Well,
you saw that CBS had a report.
Yes,
and they immediately had to get rid of the show, and they're going to have to edit it because somebody on the ground said, "Well, we don't know where it goes. Only 30% of it is showed. Like we can only account for that."
Right.
Didn't that happen in Iraq and Afghanistan?
It's weird how that
it costs a lot of money to hire lawyers.
It's like I always tell people the past performance doesn't predict future results, but like Mark Twain said, it often rhymes with the United States in war.
But didn't you think it's odd that we as Americans just accept, like there's not been a time in any of our life when there wasn't a war going on?
No.
Or a military operation, we'll say.
Constantly.
We have never known peace at all. Does it not strike you as odd that you could die 20 years from now and there'll still be some occupation going on that we are funding?
Yeah, look, Americans as a society would rather put our heads in the sand. Let me buy my big TV.
Right.
Let me make enough money to afford to, order shit on Amazon and go to McDonald's for dinner. And when I turn my TV on, I'm not watching the fucking news.
Right.
That's just generally that's my perception of us.
I don't think anybody's really
culturally.
watching TV anymore. I mean, the only time you ever watch a network is to watch a football game.
Right. It's all streaming.
Beyond that, you're streaming everything.
Netflix or Amazon or Disney Plus.
Do you remember a time, either one of you, when you watched and you believe? I can remember Desert Storm thinking, this is patriotism. Like we are defending somebody, not realizing that it was just feeding the war machine. Because Whitney Houston, we all look at that when she sang at the Super Bowl and all that, and the people had tears in their eyes and like that yellow ribbon. Remember that was a big deal. They brought that whole thing back. There's a certain thing about war where they use this propaganda playbook where you go, this is nice. This is comforting.
Yeah.
It's kind of like when you fall asleep in the garage, but you put the door down, and left the car running. You're like, I feel so peaceful.
Well, it's a unifying. I mean, having a common enemy is a unifying thing.
Yeah, it is a rallying point.
And so I think that it's been used a few times in the past when
just a couple.
When different presidents reached levels of popularity that were intolerably low.
Well, we're not here to talk about Jimmy Carter.
He actually didn't start a war, I don't think.
I
don't think he did.
He started a war on housing. His 89-year-old ass is still trying to hammer those nails in.
I think Trump.
Well, the Fed
prior to Trump, that was the last president we had that did not initiate a new conflict.
I think you're probably right.
I think I heard that somewhere.
Well, he was being impeached because he wouldn't sell weapons to Ukraine. That was the first impeachment. We're trying to start this thing. We're trying to get this campfire going, and you're holding the lighter. Get out of the way, so we're going to impeach you.
Are we talking about Jimmy Carter or Trump here? I think you're talking about Trump.
I don't think Jimmy Carter... I love when people look at Jimmy Carter like he's a hero. If you look back on that time, America was trying to get rid of Jimmy Carter like... This place is becoming Iran.
Part of the problem that Carter had was he inherited an economy that was going down the tubes, and he couldn't. Because it's the Democratic Party, he couldn't bring them. He couldn't form a coalition, even though he had the House and the Senate during the first part of his term.
Yeah.
He could never form a coalition. There was so much infighting among the Democrats, they couldn't all get on the same page, so he couldn't get any policies through.
Well, we've cleared that up.
Do you know what it reminds me of, though?
Had the oil crisis.
Yeah,
that was a
I was just going to bring that
crisis.
up. Like right now, I feel like California is 1976 Jimmy Carter. Let's ban all gas vehicles so everybody has to charge their shit, and then we're like, oh wait a minute,
you can't charge
you
anything.
can't charge your stuff.
You can't
Right
charge it because the grid's going down.
I got it.
This is the greatest thing ever.
Gotta love California.
I've got
and
a
then
friend.
they're like, oh, we want everybody else in the country to be like us. No.
Yo, what the fuck is wrong with you people?
I got it. I got a thing sent. It was one of those California, like a Facebook thing that they put out, like from the government, saying, "Please don't charge for the next 8 hours."
Yeah.
And they only have, what is it, 20% of their cars are electric? And I think it's less than that.
Imagine what happens in 10 years.
I mean,
It's fucking lunacy.
here's my conspiracy theory. Drive everybody out of California so we can just mine that son of a bitch for all the oil
lithium
and
we
the
can
minerals,
find.
and it just becomes a dump, and everybody has to move to like the Midwest because
Yeah, but we don't want them to come and ruin our
No,
states.
we don't.
I don't understand.
Can't they all just move to Oregon? It's already ruined.
Yeah, just go north.
Portland looks nice if you don't go there during the day or the night. What I don't understand is all those policies in California. So do you know that the electric car, electric vehicle, no gas thing is tied to Virginia as well?
Tied to Virginia, yeah.
When they pass the law, whatever California does in terms of electric vehicles is automatic in Virginia.
Really?
How the hell did they do that?
How did Strom Thurmond get it to wait, what is that? Who's the dude from Wisconsin used to be in the KKK?
That is
not
not-
Wisconsin, West Virginia.
That is not Strom Thurmond.
No.
He's from South Carolina. I think.
Byrd, Robert Byrd.
Oh, yeah.
So when he introduced
Wait,
a
he was in
bill,
the KKK?
yeah, well, I don't think you get to leave. I don't think it's like that. I think
Yeah,
if you're a Hell's Angel, you're always a Hell's Angel.
Yeah, right. You can ask to leave, but then you don't.
I don't think it's like
You're dead.
Salvation Army. We're like, I don't want to ring the bell anymore.
Had no idea.
So,
I think that's accurate.
but what happened is he was introducing a bill that had to do with agriculture here in the States. And then they tacked on at the end of this, oh, by the way, Puerto Rico can't declare bankruptcy. Well, no one gives a shit because you're not thinking about, well, why would they declare bankruptcy? That's why they can't keep the hospital, the power on, all that. That's why nobody cares about them, because you can't declare bankruptcy because it's in our bill that we passed.
Jesus.
Same thing with the Virginia thing. They have to follow suit with California. So they knew what they were doing at this point. I'm just amazed it's not tied to more states. So no matter if there's a Republican or a Democrat, by 2035, they can't have electric vehicles.
That's insane.
Yeah. Or sorry, they can have electric, they can't have gas power.
Right. They can't sell gas-powered vehicles.
What the hell do you do there?
What if you're a
That's a
carman?
federal law?
Yeah.
I bet the state can preempt it if they want.
They'll have to.
Well,
The feds can't legislate that.
It's either that or secession. I don't know.
The feds can't. The feds can't legislate.
let's talk about secession right now. because here's the, okay.
Well, that'd be great if California was secede. The rest of us would be richer.
I'm not even talking about that.
Yeah, we would.
I'm saying, okay, so when you go to digital currency, this is perfect. This shit went way off. So with cryptocurrency and all that,
We were talking about CNN.
yeah,
And then we got.
we're going to get back there, I promise you.
Well, no, this is logical. We went from CNN to
Well, it all
California.
ties together
Crazy
because
ass
CNN
politics.
is the one that's like crypto is the new big thing, and then it falls apart when Matt Damon got paid in cash for his crypto thing and says you should be doing this.
Right?
I mean, that's the biggest bait and switch. That's a lawsuit, and as lawyers saying we need to look that up. But what I am saying is, with cryptocurrency, haven't
Did
you
you just
invented?
say we?
I mean me. What I'm saying is, if cryptocurrency exists and they're trying to get us off cash, because I'm going to go somewhere with this in a second. If they get us off cash, then cryptocurrency or some kind of digital currency, which in December, Biden is supposed to announce that there's going to be a new digital asset instead of cash
Of course there is.
by, I think, the 16th of December. So the only reason I'm saying this all ties together is as of
It's
October
going to be
1st,
unchangeable videos of celebrities farting.
I bought a lot of those, and I have them on Nate's computer. We love watching
It's
this.
just a video of Selma Hayek's feet.
Yeah. Listen, I pay $79 for that, but I'm not going higher.
It's probably worth 80 on eBay.
What if we could actually, that would be a form of currency. I have Margot Robbie's bathwater. What can I get? You can get this Honda. How fresh is it? Well, the reason I bring that up is, in a roundabout way, is that Starbucks is announcing in certain areas they're only going to take debit card, or no cash at all.
Jesus.
So this is all kind of evolving. You're not going to have a choice. You're going to have to opt in. That's why I think California could break off, because if you have a digital currency or something that you'll accept, right?
Yeah.
But the news outlets are like, this is a great thing. You're a guy that deals in money.
But
Sometimes.
Is that a good thing?
No, it's a terrible thing. I mean, for starters, it's from my position, it's all about it's government control. That's all they're trying to do. Is
What?
Yeah, they would.
When did the government
Why
want
would
to
they
control our
ever
lives?
want to control us? I can't imagine why.
They're going to raid Stan's house later.
Yeah. Well.
He has nuclear codes. I told him. I ratted.
told him.
You know when they have those, if you see something, say something?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Every week, Stan Willis has a bunch of shit at his house. Anyway, tell people why it's bad to get rid of the cash.
Well, for starters, there's an issue with liquidity, and there's other issues with, we'll call it a secondary economy, right? And that's people doing side work. Hey, I need my alternator fixed.
V-Pix.
You know, I get a sorry. I get a discount if I throw the guy 100 instead of, running my cart. Like, that's what they're trying to eliminate. And that's going to be a problem because no kid's ever going to mow grass again. Nobody's going to shovel sidewalks. I mean,
no stripper will finish college.
Exactly.
They all do. $20 at a time.
What the hell are they thinking? Like, it's asinine when they're talking about getting rid of actual money.
Well, Stan, you like that they hired 87,000 armed agents for the IRS. Do you see any problems coming from that?
No. I mean, what could happen? What could go wrong? What possibly could go wrong?
Well, how would you protect yourself if they just came to your house and said, hey, I don't even know what they would say at that point. You owe taxes, and we got a shotgun.
You can't protect yourself. That's the thing. You can't. It just happened to a friend of mine not too long ago.
That's right.
The IRS showed up at his house, unannounced, of course. Had a warrant, took his computers, took all kinds of electronic stuff.
Holy shit.
They hired an attorney. And 2 months later, after lots of pain and accusations and all kinds of stuff, the IRS said, "Oh, our bad, we made a mistake." Gave him back his stuff. There's nothing you can do.
There's no recourse for him.
No recourse.
That's my problem. Like, I would have no issues with the system if it was fair on both sides, because clearly it's not.
But there is. I mean, the IRS essentially has unlimited resources. If they decide that they're going to focus on somebody, they can throw as much as they want. There is no limitations on it. And Frank, I mean, I don't know if you follow. There's a guy named John Whitehead who writes for. Come on, Stan, pull it out. It's not the Federalist. Anyway. John Whitehead says that there are so many federal laws that the average person breaks at least 3 federal laws a day that he doesn't even know about it. So, I mean, the fact is that if you have 20 IRS agents going through all of your stuff,
they're going to find something.
They're going to find something that is a technical violation of something. And then then they can just start threatening you and all kinds of stuff. And there's really what folks don't realize with the Patriot Act and then with the subsequent all of the expansion of administrative CFR administrative code kinds of things. We've kind of become a place where, if that's true, what John Whitehead says, everybody violates 3 laws a day, then literally every person is subject to being arrested and detained at any given time. Because there's something you're doing that's a violation of something that, and that's, that's the kind of world that, that's Soviet Russia.
I feel like Ray Bradbury or George Orwell tried to warn us about this, didn't they?
Maybe.
You know what I find odd is that, so to go back to the media part of this, the media is cheering this on as though this is a good thing. No one is taking the opposite side. So even if they're acknowledging it, they're not saying everything that we just said. So we should be Fox and Friends, that's the only show I know, because the other ones I don't even. What's that, Cup of Joe? With the guy and his lady that keeps getting sculpted like a butter statue, Minka, whatever. Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. When you're on television, you're part of that elite. So the people that need to know the information are looking at you, and you're like, "Don't worry about this. Stay asleep. It's fine," because it doesn't affect them.
Well, there was announced this morning on CNBC that I forget the guy's last name, Steven something. He runs a company. Has a full-time residence in Florida, but also lives part-time in D.C. They're coming after him for tax evasion. $25 million is what they say that he owes in taxes.
And the guy has a deli. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, yeah.
You owe us this.
Yeah.
Well, Derek Jeter famously said his residence was in Tampa,
Right.
but he
While
played for the New York
the
Yankees.
Yeah.
So he would be there for 4 months a year, but I'm always here.
Right.
But I happen to write off my townhouse in New York.
That's
'cause
just a business expense, man. He can do that.
So how far down the line do you go with this where you're like, because I run a business and I don't pay my share of taxes. Fuck you, IRS. And what I'm saying is that these people, that they're just trying to shake everybody's pockets, right?
Yeah. And they're going to see who folds, I think is what's going to happen. I mean, they're going to come after.
But they're going to be looked at as heroes, the way that the whole Back the Blue campaign.
I don't know
How do
about
we
that.
go from we want to defund the police to we want to arm people that are accountants?
Right. I think it's more the only way that we're going to see like that Back the Blue type mentality is if people buy into all the nonsense that the media is saying. They're talking about how great this shit is. No, this is terrible. This is the exact opposite of what our founding fathers wanted.
Do you think that this is being, I know why it's being done. Can it be undone?
You know, we started a war over a 10% tax on tea.
I was there.
And now we just hired 87,000 IRS agents that we're going to arm.
Are we, so I want to ask this question because there's another piece to it. Can this be undone? Because Biden they will keep propping that puppet up there until it's time for the next election. Will it matter if it's a Republican or another Democrat? Is there a way to stop it?
Yes. Thomas Massey for president.
Okay, is there a real
No.
way to do it?
I don't think there is.
I
struggle to see it.
I don't know. Sometimes I think that I hear things or see things that suggest that there might be some hope, some glimmer of hope. You know, the popularity of someone like a Tulsi Gabbard.
That's my girl.
Or even to some
She's
extent,
a politician, Mike.
even to some
She
extent,
looked
Ron
good to me.
DeSantis. But that their popularity is, I think, is hopeful. But at other times, I think we're so far down the rabbit hole at this point that some form of catastrophic event is in the future. Is what I think. I don't know what that catastrophic event is.
If you find out what it is, let me know because we want to make some T-shirts. But go on.
It could be. I mean, you know, we don't have. I mean, we're almost out of time. But you know, on a global political kind of stage, you get the globalists who are pushing pretty hard, and you get the Fed kind of pushing back against the globalists a little bit, and then you've got the stuff going on with Russia and China, and us trying to pick a fight with both of them, and all of those things have the potential to blow up into something larger that's very bad, whether that's a war of a huge war that has the potential to become nuclear, or whether that's really just the collapse of Europe. The Fed raising interest rates is not good for Europe. Maybe the collapse of the United States because we just freaking run out of money and they changed the reserve currency and
I don't know, man. We can
all
just
that
print
kind
more.
of
Don't worry
stuff.
about that.
We can, but if we're not the reserve currency, we're Venezuela.
You ever been to Venezuela during summer? It's
I've heard it's
beautiful.
nice this time of year.
Yeah.
No, I agree with you on that. And I've talked to several people that have all varying political beliefs, and they all feel the exact same way.
Yeah, I mean, you don't know what it. I mean, I think that sometime in the next 5 to 10 years, something's going to happen. I wish I knew what it was.
Me too.
That's the thing.
Because I'd like to get those commemorative coins made. You know, what America
I'm
used to
glad
be.
you brought that up.
You know what I mean? Like, if we can get on that before the nuclear fallout.
There's
that'd be
only
amazing.
176,000 of them available.
Can we put Nate's face on
They're
them?
limited. You
Oh,
got to
it
call
would
it
be,
a day.
but it would be the face that Nate makes when it's like, hey, man, we got to edit this thing again. He goes, and his mouth is just open. And he always, like a building's falling, it would be that. Actually, we should make that as a T-shirt. The nuclear fallout, and it's just Nate as a cartoon dude.
Oh, I thought you were going to say it was a picture of that building in Miami. Or
Hey, Those winds down there in Miami, that's what blew it over. Not poor construction and not the mob being involved in building
Not
stuff.
3 feet of water in the basement.
Sinkholes suck.
You know, that's funny. That's where they found Hunter's laptop, was in Miami. Anyway, boys, that's all we have time for. Thank you for listening to Objections with Stan Willis. We'll see you next week.